Greetings and welcome to another Tomorrow's World webcast. My name is Wallace Smith, and we often don't have good news here on the webcast because, let's be honest, the world is falling apart around us, and Bible prophecy says that it's going to. But I am delighted to bring some good news. I thought this was a very encouraging study. Hopefully, it means some hope for a lot of people with a very difficult condition. It actually comes out of, I actually found it on Yahoo News. It's an AFP release, an article from August 11th. It was written by a Marlo Hood. The title is this: Breakthrough for Paraplegics in Regained Mobility Study. In other words, there's a study showing some amazing advancements they're making in helping paraplegics regain mobility. Let me just read just a few selections. It's a report out of Paris. It says, patients long paralyzed from spinal cord injuries showed unprecedented gains in mobility and feeling, and in some cases, a renewed sex life, through virtual reality training and the use of brain-controlled robotics, scientists said Thursday. 6 men and 2 women who had completely lost the use of their lower limbs all made significant progress, the researchers reported in the peer-reviewed journal Scientific Reports. In some cases, they were actually able to upgrade the person's status. They were completely paralyzed. They were able to be upgraded to simply partial paralysis. It says one of them, a 32-year-old woman paralyzed for more than a decade, may have experienced the most dramatic transformation. At the outset of the trial undertaken at a clinic in São Paulo, Brazil, she was unable to stand even with the help of braces. Within 13 months, she could walk with the help of braces and a therapist and could produce a walking motion while suspended from a harness. The article also quotes this neuroscientist at Duke University. His name's Miguel Nicolelis. He's actually kind of famous for some of this work. He says, until now, nobody has seen recovery of these functions in a patient so many years after being diagnosed with complete paralysis. What are they essentially doing? I'll just summarize the article. It's a worthwhile article to read. But they're using some robotics that are designed to work with the mind to move the body in ways as the paralyzed individuals struggle to think about walking. And actually they use virtual reality to allow them to visualize walking. And actually they have certain kinds of materials and instruments attached to them, so when they visualize, say, walking on different surfaces, say grass or sand, that actually feels different to the limbs. And they find that where there's no activity in the brain at first, that there is beginning to be activity as they go through these continued exercises of simply imagining walking. And using these instruments to help their bodies sort of relearn to do it, and they're seeing amazing gains. Now, I just thought that was amazing. I couldn't help but think of the millennium when Jesus Christ will return and His people will be working with Him to heal all these diseases and difficulties in the world. But how amazing to see at least a tiny taste of that in a physical way now for these people. It's not a cure-all. It's not going to help every paralyzed person in the world walk. But a very specific verse came to mind as I read this article. It's actually from the Psalm, Psalm 139 and verse 14. In that psalm, King David wrote, I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. That verse in particular came to mind because if you read about these techniques, essentially what they're trying to do, as I understand it, is they're trying to help the body heal itself. They're trying to help the brain relearn to move those limbs, to help those limbs, in a sense, learn the muscle memory again, perhaps, of what it means to walk, and just really enable the body to begin to right itself. And it just made me think, what an amazing system that God has made with our brains and our muscles together, that the body can overcome such things. You know, part of what we're going to see in the millennium, whenever Jesus Christ returns and is ruling over the world, isn't just miraculous healing, but also a right teaching of the world, of how to understand the body that God designed so mankind isn't constantly stumbling around in the dark. Regardless, I was just delighted to hear these things about these people for their sake, and long to see a world when there are no more paralyzed individuals, but rather walking, healthy, beautiful, robust lives everywhere on the planet. It's nice to talk about a bit of good news. Thanks for watching, and I do hope you'll check out everything we have available at tomorrowsworld.org.